Lately, I've been seeing so many girls in their era of dating like 5 guys at once, not giving a about anyone that they're spending their time and energy with. And it's because they're so over getting hurt.
Oh, hookup culture ruined dating. Hookup culture ruined everything. No. It was ruined before hookup culture was even a part of the picture. I am not a supporter of hookup culture, but what I can say is the internet, and also just the fact that there's no pressure on us now to get married by a certain date, has helped us raise our standards.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Glad to have you here. Today, guys, we have some modern day philosophers joining the channel featured in the video. So let's give them a listen, gentlemen. The first one says some reasonable things, but the second one will just make you rub your eyes. So let's start, gentlemen.
Lately, I've been seeing so many girls in their era of dating like 5 guys at once, not giving a about anyone that they're spending their time and energy with. And it's because they're so over getting hurt by guys. But I think that is the worst way to go about it. If you don't align with not being valued and not valuing who you spend your time and energy with, don't become that.
So she's absolutely right, but let me point something else. These women that often get hurt, by guys, and they say, that's it, I'm not gonna, try with them anymore, I'm just gonna be in my bad 304 era, I'm gonna be a bad baby boss. This stupid attitude. The fun part about that is that like they have, let's say a random woman has 15 men that are willing to provide her with a relationship. She doesn't give them the time of day. She goes chasing after one Chad who uses her and then dismisses her. Then she repeats that 7 times, and after that she says, oh, my heart has been broken, I just wanted love. I'm a romantic girl, I just wanted the flowers and love. But poor me, and I'm not gonna try anymore, I'm just gonna go for the chads. What do you mean? It's what you've always been doing, right? The only thing that changes is that at some point they were maybe just going after one guy, and now they're going after 5. That's the only difference in the case of some women, right? Chasing the F-boys and the boys who are emotionally unavailable is your own fault, right? Don't just blame guys that I'm this romantic person, I just want to find love, but look at me.
Because you end up being no better than the people who hurt you, because you are literally doing exactly what happened to you, to other people. So I think it's important to look inward and be like, why did I allow this person in my life? Why did I allow this disrespect? And heal those parts of you instead of becoming what you hate, because then you can't really complain about those people if you are literally the same exact person. But I do think you have to take accountability for who and what you allow in your life, and usually it stems down to your childhood of why you allow these people in your life, and if once you heal that, you won't be dealing with those people much anymore. So
Hookup culture.
Before we continue with the stupid one, let's get back to the reasonable one that made some sense, right? And talks about taking accountability without realizing that accountability is more than women's kryptonite. They just don't ask themselves this question of, what have I done wrong in order for, fail at dating? Could it be that not all men on earth are to blame, but it's actually me? And yes, in 99% of the cases, that's the case, right? They dismiss all the good guys that are ready to give them a relationship. They go for the bad ones, and then they whine about dating. And it's not the same for guys, because you hear this side of the story from guys as well. They say, I'm done with dating, I'm just gonna go for the hookups, I'm not gonna try to have a girlfriend. It's different for them because they are actually trying to get a relationship, and they are actually, being good, being gentlemen, trying to find a girlfriend. And what happens is that they get dismissed just because they don't happen to be 6 feet tall, or just because there's some other bad boy that is better than them, So they realize that the only way to succeed with most women nowadays is to just be the unavailable F-boy, right? Well, for women, there's always a guy out there that is waiting on them to act traditional and to act like girlfriend material. You know what I mean, guys? But now let's go to our next woman, our next philosopher. Let's hear what she has to say.
Heal that, you won't be dealing with those people much anymore. So,
oh, hookup culture ruined dating, hookup culture ruined everything. No. It was ruined before hookup culture was even a part of the picture. Y'all will romanticize the 1950s and how people stayed together with one person for their entire life, but you will not realize that the reason why a lot of this happened was not because these relationships were perfect. It was because literally women could not get divorced until the 1970s. Someone committing...
Yeah, literally, guys. Well, that's just false information. Of course they could. In fact, it was the 50s and 60s where divorce rates peaked, right? So, and yeah, some were initiated by women. It's not only men who initiated them. So, your literally is as false as it can get, just spreading misinformation. Probably some feminist friend gave this woman a pamphlet that read this information, and she of course believed it without doing any research. It takes 1 second to Google it and find the answer in case you don't know.
To you is not enough, because longevity, it's not necessarily a good indicator of how healthy the relationship is. It's how long the relationship has lasted, but that does not always mean that it's a healthy relationship.
But yeah, absolutely. I mean, I agree with that. You know what it stands for? A long relationships, a long relationship. It just shows that you have committed to your vows. That's what it shows. That you're not a piece of crap, essentially. You know. And yes, there are some cases that you just have to leave, but they're not the cases that these women nowadays leave, right? So in the past, women did go through a lot more things that these women cannot even start to imagine. Some due to their partner, you know, maybe having problems with alcohol or eating her, you know, a use, and things that are actually important and that can, you know, that can give you the pass to leave the relationship, right? You don't want to be somewhere where you're getting physically abused. But they also went through things that are out of their marriage, like famines, poverty, you know, problems with the children, etc. They just had the strength to do it, right? And also, yes, the circumstances were harder, meaning it was harder for women to leave a marriage and be as good as they are today, because now they get a full package of benefits from the government. And that's a good thing that in the past they didn't. Because here's the thing, guys. If you don't want the responsibility of sticking to your vows and sticking to your partner, don't get married. It's that easy. Once you get married, you should stick to your vows until death do its part. That's it. It's not till irreconcilable differences. It's not till I don't feel that I'm good anymore. I don't feel that it's working for me. No, it's till death do its part. Of course, with some exceptions, right? Like if your partner cheats, well, it's not death, but you know that's absolutely reasonable. Or if your partner is physically or, you know, mentally using you, everybody can understand that. But these women, guys, they just want to, they're so happy that nowadays they can divorce for whatever reason. It's just, this is what they see as heaven. Because they are self-absorbed assholes, that is.
There are many people who get married and their relationship is awful, but because they have kids, they stick together for the rest of their life because they don't want to hurt the kids. You're also forgetting that these people did not have very many options, so they had no choice but to make it work with whoever was around them at the time.
I mean, sounds reasonable if you ask me. You could just... Do you realize, woman, that nobody's putting a gun to your head, forcing you to get married? If you pick a bad person to marry, that's on you, right? And yes, like years ago, there were forced marriages and marriages in which people didn't choose to get married. I will understand that more. But we're talking about people who decided to get married, decided to have kids, and then started whining about it because, oh, I don't get to live in a fairy tale, or, oh, I'm facing problems. Damn it, man, it's just... Look, we humans always understand other humans. We can sympathize with their situation. We can understand that it's hard. But you decided to be there, damn it. Like, grow a little, have some responsibility. You know, take responsibility for your actions. But these women, guys, have the flea mentality, right? If I see something I don't like, I'm out of there. I flee. You know, if I don't like my job, I'm gonna find the next one. If I don't like my husband, I'm gonna change him, swap him for another. If I don't like, the problems that my children give me, I'm just gonna be a bad mother or send them to their father. Like, what a mentality, man.
And this is something that I see a lot of people try to romanticize, that people didn't break up when things got rough or they worked it out. But why is that something that we romanticize in the first place? Trying to make it work with someone who is not compatible with you? I am not a supporter.
You see, guys, that is not compatible with you. Why should I stick to a marriage that is not compatible with me? She's not saying, why should I stick to a marriage where I'm getting abused? Why should I stick to a marriage where my husband doesn't love me or cheats, you know? She says, that is not compatible with me. What the hell does that mean even? If you don't have the same music taste, are you not compatible? If he has a problem with you going to clubs with your female friends every second day, is that not being compatible? If he's not okay with you opening the relationship, well, I guess that's not compatible, right? Just being not compatible is the get out of jail free card that these women have for everything, man. It's just for everything. And this is why men are avoiding marriage. It's like walking on eggshells. You don't know what effing day it's gonna be, that you're gonna slip up just a little. You're gonna do this little one mistake, and she's gonna say, we're not compatible. I'm gonna divorce you through no-fault divorce, and I get to get alimony or get the children we have from you. It's full of bullcrap, man. And this woman is saying that in the past, when people had to actually stick to their vows, that was the bad period. That was hell. What we have today, women just getting divorces left, right, and center, this is heaven. This is the good part. This is the good end of the story. What a bunch of bullcrap. Doesn't even stop to think about the children, well, maybe all these children nowadays that are growing with single mothers mostly, or single fathers that don't have the other parent around, well, maybe it's not as easy for them. Maybe this epidemic of divorces is not good for society, and it doesn't have a good impact on the new generation. We're not even going to think about that, guys, because as I've mentioned, these women are the most self-absorbed individuals out there. The only thing they care about, F society, F children, F the next generation, all I care about is me and my own butt. I don't care about anything else. And if someone tries to stop me from doing what I want all the time whenever I want, I'm gonna get mad.
Order of hookup culture, but what I can say is the internet, and also just the fact that there's no pressure on us now to get married by a certain date, has helped us raise our standards and find people that we actually have things in common with.
What do you have in common with? She tries to put it as, look at the benefits. What are the benefits? You can date more people. Good. How's that working for you? You're still single, right? As well as thousand upon millions of other women who date half the town. They're the town bicycle, yet they stay single and they die single because they can't keep a man. All this liberty, guys, it's never been good to have all these liberty, let me tell you. And let me give you an analogy, guys. I'll play some gameplay while I rant a little. But here's the thing. What makes a person have liberty, what makes a person free, is not just about being able to do whatever he can. That is not true freedom. True freedom comes from having options, but choosing the right one. And that sounds a little, like a little confusing, because liberty, essentially being free, means to choose the same thing always. So it doesn't sound like that makes you free, but it is. Let me explain. When you have all these options, let's say in dating you have thousands of men, being able to jump from one chat to another does not make you free, but in fact it makes you a slave to your own desires. You get what I mean? In the same way that eating, freedom of eating is not just about being able to eat all the McDonald's that you want. That doesn't make you free. That just makes you a slave to your gluttony, to your desire to eat oversaturated foods that are extremely salty or sweet, and they trigger your brain to like them. True freedom in dating comes from having options, but choosing the right one, choosing the right person, choosing the long-term option that is going to benefit you and your husband and your children and society and everything. That's true freedom. So yes, it sounds like you're not free because you choose only one thing, which is the best for you. You always have to choose the best thing for you. But this is true freedom, because there you show your desire to do good. You have the option to do bad, but you choose to do good. That is true freedom. Even though the outcome of true freedom is always the same, which is picking the healthy thing, the good thing, true freedom comes from you having all the options, but being rational, being good, and not going for them. So let me give an analogy with food. True freedom for food is when you choose to eat healthy, right? The person who eats McDonald's and is 200 pounds, he is not free. He is a slave to his gluttony. While the person who chooses to eat healthy, he eats the same things all the time. He only eats healthy. He doesn't eat fried all the time or sweet all the time. He doesn't eat 2,000 calories, for lunch. But he is free because he made that choice because he is healthy. You get what I mean, guys? I hope I'm being clear. My English, my grammar is not as rich as I'd like to, but that's the thing. So going back, you madam, that you don't deserve that label, but true freedom is about picking the good people to commit to. But these people, guys, they see freedom as, I get to do whatever I want all the time. I'm free. No, you're not free. Because if you read between the lines, guys, their freedom is represented in them picking the same bad boys over and over and over. You call that freedom? Like, that's the thing, guys. People who choose the good thing all the time, they always end up choosing the good thing. But people who are supposedly free and can choose between multiple options, they always pick the same bad thing. Right? These women, they pick one bad boy, then a second bad boy, then a Chad, then a Tyrone, then a third bad boy, then an emotionally unavailable man. They always pick the same, which again goes to prove that it's not just about having multiple options. Because when you're a slave to your own desires and you cannot control yourself, you always end up choosing the bad thing. I don't remember who said this, but I think it was Socrates maybe, or don't quote me on that, but he said that whatever you cannot control, you are a slave of. You cannot control it. If you cannot decide whether you want to do it or not, then you're a slave to that. These women not being able to pick a good partner and to make a man stay, it just shows that they are slaves to their own ego. Now, guys, after this long rant, I even forgot what she was talking about, so let's find out. Let me rewind it a little.
Raise our standards and find people that we actually have things in common with. Do some people take this to the extreme? Yes. Do some people use this to boost their ego instead of actually getting to know people? Yes. I think it has to do with different social norms and the fact that a lot of people, they think that if they go and they get with a lot of people now, that makes them valuable, as compared to back then, having a beautiful wife and a family, that was what made you a valuable person. But
yeah, just guys, make the comparison. A good woman or a strong woman in the past was seen as a woman who knows how to keep a man, who empowers him, who nurtures all the family, who builds a home from a house, who makes people want to return to the house, fills the house with love, is so much more emotional than men can be. She provides, she fulfills the needs that a man can't, right? This is a strong woman. This is what has been seen in the past as a strong woman. A woman who not only keeps her husband and her children, but also fortifies them and makes them stronger. What is seen in today's culture as a strong woman is a woman that works the 9 to 5 and a woman who has a high body count. That's what a strong woman nowadays means. And a woman who is a boss babe and chooses to do, has many options. This is seen as strong, even though, as mentioned, guys, they always go for the same options. It's just pathetic when you make when you compare both things. It's just pathetic, guys, where we've come to.
Both mindsets are bad because you are caring about what other people think of you, and you've internalized the social norms at the time. Ideally, the best situation is to stop looking at what other people are doing and to do what feels right for you. But the only problem is, I think we've gone back in time by romanticizing what happened before.
What a bunch of nonsense, gentlemen. Of course, you can just see by her last words how self-absorbed and narcissistic this woman is. So in the end, according to her, both outcomes are bad. The best thing to do is stop caring about other people, stop caring about what they expect of you, just be yourself. This is the most stupid advice, especially because people who use this advice of just be yourself are the worst people, and they're absolutely ass people, and because they don't have the strength to change the bad aspects of them, they just say, oh, this is me. I'm just being myself. I stay true to myself. You're a piece of crap. Who cares if you stay true to yourself, to being a piece of crap? And this whole conversation about the social norms, I really hate this term, right? There are social norms, but not in the way that you refer to them. These people, guys, they want to frame absolutely everything in the universe as being a social construct, as there are no rules, there are no laws, there's nothing. It's just my desires against the social norms that try to, stop me, that try to chain me. There are just certain... You don't say that gravity is a social construct, right? It's just a law of nature. You cannot escape gravity, no matter how much you dislike it. You cannot escape death. It's a law of nature. That's it. In the same way, guys, it's a law of nature that we are human. We have a biological factor to our humanity. We have a mental one, a psychological one. People want to be with other people. Men and women want each other. This is not a social construct. Marriage is not a social construct. I mean, we have given a word to that, but essentially what marriage is the innately desired union of two people of the opposite sex, I'm going to mention, because that's the definition of marriage, right? So what social constructs are you talking about, man? These people, guys, they're so lost. They're so lost that because they cannot understand the past and the reasons for certain things to be, they just like to fantasize about, it's all a social construct. I'm Neo from the Matrix, just I've taken the red pill. It's all a social construct. I'm much more intelligent than that. No, you're extremely dumb and you cannot understand the reasons to be for certain things. Marriage is not something that we have created so society can continue, right? It's not that somebody came up with it. Again, it's just the natural flow of things. And we have put some rules to it. Yes, of course, we have established some things about it. But it's not something that you can escape. And you can have this feminist mentality all you want, but because these laws are not social constructs, because these laws exist, what will happen is you'll end up miserable and alone and sad and bitter. That's how you'll end. Because no matter how much you deny them, you cannot, I repeat, you cannot escape our biology, our humanity. But guys, we'll end the video right here. I hope you liked it. Leave me your comment down below and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.